Hello dear students, welcome to this class of MA Final, and today dear students we will discuss Robert Frost's poem After Apple Picking. And as you all know, Robert Frost, a great lover of nature, and this lyric, the poem After Apple Picking, is a great lyric which represents nature in its variety full of fruits, and it reveals the poet's sensuous enjoyment of various scenes and sights, sounds and scents of nature in the pursuit of picking apple. It is also regarded as a reverie, or you can say a monologue, of a tired and drowsy apple picker who is now tired because he has been picking apples the whole day. The poem is set in the background of the region of North America and in Boston, but the poet he tries to generalize and universalize the beauty of nature across the globe. It embodies a universal experience, and uh, the reader he can enjoy the lyric even without knowing the landscape of America or that of Boston or New England, and he can enjoy the poem even if he is in another part of the world. So let us, dear students, discuss the poem After Apple Picking. I request you to open your books so that we can uh, enjoy the reading of this beautiful poem After Apple Picking by Robert Frost. My long two-pointed ladders sticking through a tree toward heaven still, and there is a barrel that I did not fill beside it, and there may be 2 or 3 apples I did not pick upon some bough. So straight away the poet he says that I have been picking apples, and now the ladder is still pointed towards the heaven, that is towards the sky. The apple picker he has been picking apples now for a long time, and now he is tired. His long ladder, the two-pointed ladder, is still sticking through a tree towards the sky. And he says, he confessed that apples I did not pick upon some bough. There are still some bough where apples are there, and I have not picked them. But I am done with apple picking now. He says that now I am tired. Essence of winter, sleep is on the night. The scent of apples. Now he says that this essence of winter is the scent of apples, is spread all through, and this scent it can be felt across the atmosphere. I am drowsing off, and he says that now I am drowsing off. I am feeling like asleep, and this scent of apples is spread all everywhere. Uh, he says that there are some branches, but he did not pick them because he is tired and he does not want to continue his work. Now he is feeling drowsiness. The heavy smell of apple, that is the scent of the apples, together with fatigue, has made him drowsy, and now he wants to take some rest and sleep. That is why he says, I am drowsing off. I cannot rub the strangeness from my sight I got from looking through a pane of glass I skimmed this morning from the drinking trough and held against the world of hoary grass. Now he says that the heavy smell of apples, it has made me tired, he wished a bumper crop. He says, when I was looking outside, I wished to have a bumper crop of apples. And the harvest is so rich this season that the poet, that is the apple picker, is overtired of this great harvest he himself had desired. Now he says, I skimmed this morning from the drinking trough. Trough. Trough is the vessel through which, or we can say in which, the animals they drink water, and held against the world of hoary grass. Now this hoary grass is the grass covered with snow or frost. It melted, and I let it fall and break, but I was well upon my way to sleep before it fell, and I could tell what from my dreaming was about to take. Magnified apples appear and disappear, stem end and blossom end. So he says, the apple picker, he says that now I am retiring, and he soon retires, and he is overtaken by sleep. When he is asleep, he has a dream. His senses are overpowered by sleep, and his thinking goes incoherent and confused. He is thinking deep in his mind in this meditative state, and his dream, he anticipates dream that he will dream in his sleep. He thinks of dreaming of magnified apples. Magnified apples appear and disappear in my dream. They are appearing and reappearing. He thinks of the big apples, hearing the rumbling sound of loads of apples, and apples coming in. He thinks that his dream will be strange kind of dream, perhaps more like the long sleep that any human being ever had. And every flock of russet showing clear. Russet is the reddish brown color of the apples. My instep arch not only keeps the ache, it keeps the pressure of the ladder round. I feel the ladder away, the boughs bend. The boughs, they are bent with the weight of apples. He says that this strange dream, it, I feel the weight of these apples on the boughs. I feel the ladder away, the boughs bent, and I keep hearing from the cellar bin the numbling sound of load and load of apples coming. So, loads and loads of apples coming in, for I have had too much of apple picking. Now he says that I have had too much of apple picking today. I am overtired. I am now tired, and he says, of the great harvest I myself desired. That the great harvest I myself desired. That this season we should have a great harvest of apples. Now I am tired, overtired. There were 10,000 fruit to touch, cup in hand, lift down, and not let fall for all. He says there are 10,000 fruits, so much heavy crop, so much great harvest this season I had, that struck the earth, no matter if not bruised or spiked with stubble, went surely to the cider apple heap, and of no worth. They will, all these apples, they will go to the cider apple heap. One can see what will trouble this sleep of mine. Now, you see, this dream of mine, whatever sleep it is, were he not gone? The woodchuck could say whether it's like his long sleep as I describe its coming on, or just some human sleep. His imagination plays upon and transforms and transfigures it, but it is still a reality. So, the apples of which he is dreaming of picking, the apples, the apple picker, he dreams, and it is related to apples and of the tumbling sound of carts bringing in apples. He dreams of labor and activity which is necessary to sustain life. Because in this life, if we do not put in hard labor, we cannot succeed. So, dear students, we come to the end of this beautiful poem, a lyric by Robert Frost. And dear students, this particular poem is so well describes the nature, the scents, the greenery, the ripe apples, and of course the apple picker. So let us look in detail. This lyric, it fully brings out the sensuous enjoyment of the scenes and sights, sounds, and scent of nature. The poem, it is set in the background of a region in Boston, as I told you earlier, and the poet, he describes the touch of mystery. The apple picker is not sure whether his sleep is ordinary human sleep or the long winter hibernation of the creatures, like the woodchuck. So, the poet in this particular poem, he says that the bough of apple trees is so full of harvest that I had earlier desired, and this apple picking has tired me, so I will now go to sleep. So, dear students, I hope you have understood the idea of the poem after apple picking, and this particular poem, dear students, it shows us Frost, Robert Frost's love for nature. The poet, he says, he is overtired after apple picking and he doesn't want to continue his work. He is getting drowsy, so he wants to lie down and sleep. He anticipates what sort of dream he will dream during his sleep, what kind of dream he will have in his sleep. He thinks he will dream of magnified apples and apples appearing and disappearing in his sleep. So we can say that the apple picker, he dreams, but he dreams of apples and of the rumbling sounds of carts bringing in more apples. His imagination plays upon the reality and it transforms and transfigures it, but it is still a reality, we can say. Now let us have a look at the stranger. For I have had too much of apple picking, I am overtired. Now he says that now I am overtired and now I am feeling drowsy, I will go to sleep. So dear students, the poet, that is Frost, in this particular poem, he presents a realistic description of apple picking, and the apple picker, we can say, is overtired. The poet says overtired after picking, he wished a bumper crop, as I told you earlier, and now the harvest is so rich and abundant that he feels exhausted in harvesting. There are more than 10,000 beautiful and ripe apples, he says. The poem in this, the poet, he says, the dreams of labor and activity which is necessary to sustain life, the imagination it plays on, and this particular poem, Apple Picking, is a great nature lyric in which the poet gives an account of the simple pastoral activity of apple picking. And it also brings to us the love of nature which Frost had, and also the general and universal theme. It embodies a universal experience, and it is not necessary to be familiar with New England in order to understand the poem. Even a layman, a person who is residing in India, he can also uh, imagine apple picking. So the poet, he is delighted as he feels the touch of apples. The poet anticipates all these things in his sleep. It is not an ordinary sleep like that of a human being. It will be a strange kind of dream, perhaps more like the long sleep of the woodchuck, as he uh, writes in the poem. So I hope, dear students, you have understood the poem. We will continue with another poem in the next video. Thank you very much.